All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so Prophetess Rosalind Solomon posted this on her page, and so when I clicked on it, it looks like the Greater Grace Church was the one who posted it, and I guess she shared it. And this was interesting because it comes from a tribune from April 11th, 1953, and it's crazy how fast time has flown by. Because 1953 now seems like it was a long time ago, but really it was a blink of an eye ago when we were in 1953. Now we're almost in 2020. I mean, just in the blink of an eye. Okay, just a picture snapshot, right? Um, but this is a telephone prophecy. And check this out. It says there'll be no escape in future from telephones. Wow. And this person is talking about this in 1953. A telephone of the future. It says here that Mark R. Sullivan, San Francisco president, and director of the Pacific Telephone and Telegraph Company, said in an address Thursday night, just what form of future telephone will take is, of course, pure speculation. Okay. So he said, just what form the future telephone will take is, of course, just pure speculation. Okay. Here is my prophecy in its final development. So this is the final development. When you see this, this is the final development of the phone. Okay. So in its final development, the telephone will be carried about by the individual. Okay. Meaning smartphones where you carry it around everywhere you go. Right. Okay. And it says that it'll be carried about by individuals perhaps as we carry a watch today. And that's crazy because probably back in the in the 1800s or maybe 1600s, they probably had the same prophecy about watches, because a watch, maybe there wasn't any watches back in those days. There was just clocks, right? So you would have the clock, a grandfather clock, or the clocks that go ding, ding. And then somebody probably prophesied that clocks one day will be worn on the wrist and you'll be able to tell the time everywhere you went. I wonder if somebody thought about that back in those days when before watches were invented, where you would be able to tell time regardless of where you were in the world, right? And so, and just not at people's houses, because they didn't know what time it was when they went outside because they didn't have clocks. Okay, so they had to go to people's homes and then see the clock and be like, "Oh, it's 3 p.m." Okay, right? They didn't know what time it was. So it's pretty interesting because like when blackouts happen, how do people know the time, right? Except for the sun and the moon and the that dictate what, if it was morning or night or evening or stuff. But how do they know the exact timing when the powers and stuff went out? It's pretty weird. For me personally, I don't think we're in the right. I don't think today. I don't think today's actually December 26, 2019, because there's no way to calculate what time and year it was. You know what I mean? Like precisely back in those days, especially when there was no power and things, right? So everything is basically just a guess. Like we're literally guessing, um, because I don't know. I would put a lot of money on it that it's not really December 26, 2019. We put a lot of money on it. We're just going by what the world is telling us to go by. But going back to this, in its final development, the telephone will be carried about by the individual Perhaps as we carry a watch today, it probably will require no dial or equivalent. And I think the users will be able to see each other, hmm, if they want to, or if they want, as they talk. Who knows but what it may actually translate from one language to another. Wow. So this person, Mark R. Sullivan, was absolutely dead on in 1953 about the telephone and what it could do. I remember being part of what was it called? Five Links years ago. This is probably, I don't know how long ago. This 10 years ago. I was part of a company called, I tried out a company called Five Links. I wasn't successful in it, by the way. I tried out a company called Five Links, and they were coming out with something called the Videophone. And then interesting that Beyonce did a video called the Videophone with Lady Gaga, I think. But they came out with something called the Videophone where you can video call somebody and they'll be on the other side and you can see them and you can video call each other. And then they actually implemented that into the phones as well, right? FaceTiming and things like that. But it's pretty weird, man. Pretty weird that this person knew that stuff. Now he's in San Francisco, and San Francisco is a place where all the the Zionists, New World Order technologists come together, and they create the technology, or they bring out the technology that is hidden in secret, because most of the technology is just renewed again, right? Most of the technology isn't really new technology. It's just that they're basically feeding society in baby steps. Okay, they don't want you to know, like, the things that are going to be coming out in 2030, 2040. They already have. They're just basically what they do to society is they feed society slowly. They don't want to give you everything at one time. So if you go into many of those places down in San Francisco or inside of the governments and things like that, you in the technology area, yeah, you'll see, or maybe even the underground worlds that they have, like that many people don't know anything about, except for you see it on YouTube and you see the military underground worlds and things like that, or the elite underground worlds, because the elites have an underground world if you didn't know. Okay, that they come and go and come from, but in those places, those are probably where the technologies, they're hiding the technologies and stuff. Area 51, maybe, I don't know. That maybe they don't want nobody in there, right? And so they could hide the technology of the futures in there, right? So it's not really new technology. It's just technology that they're feeding you slowly, right? So it's like, once again, it's not new technology. Okay, the things that you're about to see, in the stores in 2020 and 2021 and 2025 are not new technology. They're just telling you it's new because you've never seen it before, but it's not new technology. These things have been out for years and years and years. They just keep it in secret because they want to feed society in small doses. Okay, just like they do everything in small doses, right? Just like your food, they put the GMOs and the non and the all the things that they put in the food that they shouldn't be putting in the food. It's like they put poison in the food. They got poison in your Kellogg cereals and things. It's like and they put small doses so you don't realize it, right? But those small doses add up after 10 years of eating Kellogg's or eating cereal, right? And now you have a problem, right? Now you have maybe you have some type of disease now because you've been taking small doses of poison for 15 years. And that's how they do it. That's how the elites do it. They do it in small doses. So that's why this guy was able to know what's going to happen in the future, because he probably seen it in the inside of the underground. He probably seen it in the secret vaults. He probably has seen it in the hidden government technology areas. So it's easy to prophesy when you've already seen it in secret meetings, right? So this is what happens. People can come out and they can nail things because they've already seen it. I remember before all that video stuff came out, I remember I was trying to do inventions, cell phone inventions. I was trying to get patents, long time ago. As a teenager, I was trying to get patents for a whole bunch of technology stuff that came out 10 years later. So I mean, you can go ask my friends, and some of them are passed away now. But man, I mean, we used to go up to the patent places to try to get things patent for cell phones and stuff. Like, I mean, we were thinking about things that weren't even existed yet, of course, because we were inventing it. And these all these things that I was thinking about back in those days. A lot of them came to pass. A lot of them came out. Okay, I wrote down a whole bunch of inventions and a lot of those things, and it is what it is, right? I wanted to be an inventor when I grew up. I wanted to be somebody who invented things. That was my passion. I loved create sitting down, brainstorming, and trying to create something that is not that no one is even thinking about, right? But at the end of the day, a lot I was thinking about and things they already have these things in secret. They already have this technology, right? I'm thinking about it, but many of these things that I'm thinking about, you're thinking about, and everybody else is thinking about. Oh, they should do this. They already have these things. They either have them or they have the patents for them to be able to create them already in secret. So we have to understand that as well. So this person probably seen these things and he knew that they weren't going to come out anytime soon. So he just said, "You know what? I think that you're going to be able to see each other and blah 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 blah." Because he probably already seen the technology. Also, movies. The movies were probably already showing the technology back in the 50s, but there was nobody could get their hand on it. They didn't mass produce them until they weren't going to mass produce them until 50 years later. So the technology that you're seeing on the TVs, on the movie theaters to this decade, a lot of that stuff you're gonna be able to this it's gonna be mass produced in the following decade, right? So things that you see on the movies, like how do they even know how to do that type of stuff? Because they already have these technologies. These technologies are in secret, right? And they only bring them out. They'll show it to you in movies, right? They'll show you all this technology that you've never seen before. Like, wow, they already have it. If they're showing you in the movies, they already have it, right? They just haven't mass produced it to society yet. Okay. So being able to do this and do that with your phone, or being able to click your heels and to go there with a magical shoe or whatever it is, this stuff hasn't come out yet in society. And so they'll bring it out slowly as they always do. Anyways, I just thought this was fun. The telephone prophecy has come to pass. And yeah, the phone is with you. We call it smartphones now because they stay with you everywhere you go. And unfortunately, they work on Wi-Fi, so they're literally killing us as they go with us everywhere we go because we're getting the radiation. We're literally in radiation 24 hours a day now. Before we were never like this. Now we are in radiation 24 hours a day. So they're able to use it to get rid of people, I guess, as well, in some type of form of fashion. But other than that, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And the telephone prophecy has come to pass because you're not going to be able to escape from a telephone. Every single person is walking around with a telephone and laptop or a telephone or iPad and or some type of AirPods and things like that, and connected. Maybe some of your stuff is connected to Bluetooth, and it's always connected. You're always connected to some type of Wi-Fi everywhere you go, radiation everywhere you go, and this was the plan back in those days, and there it is. All right, and so they'll the elites will give you will cause the problem, and then they will also create the solution. So they'll make money on the problem, and they'll make money on the solution, right? And that's how they cover their tracks. Anyways, talk to you guys later. Peace out. God bless. Eyes open. See you in the next video. Bye.